In the galaxy's vastness, the Galactic Council served as a lighthouse of harmony between innumerable civilizations, each adding to the fabric of peace and advancement that this coalition is made of. Sensitive species from other planets based their relationships on respect for one another and collaboration. However, the Council also followed a strict set of guidelines enforced to keep the peace and stop disputes. These rules were intended to promote harmony, but they frequently suppressed personality and cultural manifestations, fostering animosity among people who believed humanity was neglected despite its comparatively new arrival on the galactic stage. Humanity had made important advances in technology, interstellar diplomacy, and innovation. It had led to advances in artificial propulsion systems and artificial intelligence, drawing the interest of Council members. However, fascination soon turned to suspicion. Aggressive human colony expansion and their resource-related exploitative practices began to portray them as a possible danger. As humanity reached out to investigate new worlds, their behavior reflected the darker histories of their past conquests and colonizations. The pivotal moment came during a diplomatic gathering, where hostilities erupted over the distribution of resources on a contentious planet. A miscommunication turned into a conflict that resulted in an extraterrestrial's destruction. Shockwaves were sent through the Council, concerned that humanity might descend into military aggression. Members of the Council met to consider their response amidst heated debate. Some advocated for redemption, while others demanded a prompt and forceful action to avoid future occurrences. In a landmark vote, humanity was kicked out of the Galactic Council. The ruling was presented as a measure for the larger good, a way to protect the delicate tranquility that had been established. The Council's leadership released a public declaration presenting the exile as a safeguard against a species that had not adhered to the principles of collaboration and respect. The news echoed throughout human colonies, causing a range of reactions. Some protested, believing they had been deceived by the Council that had initially accepted them. Others were ashamed, believing that humanity's worst tendencies had finally caught up with them. The consequences of exile were glaringly obvious. Trading routes were cut off, and the economy stagnated, resulting in isolation from the wealth of assets and expertise that the Council had provided. Humanity faced severe difficulties. Factions formed, some supporting repeated attempts to re-establish a presence in the Council, while others adopted a more isolationist strategy. Extremist organizations emerged, viewing the Council's ruling as a violation of human dignity, fueling a harmful ideology of retaliation. Across the colonies, a change began to take place in human society. Resilient communities arose, prioritizing self-sufficiency. While many mourned their lost position, among the stars, others ventured into the abyss to stargaze. New underground networks were formed to investigate partnerships with other outcast species, motivated by the conviction that togetherness was the source of strength and the will to restore humanity's standing in the Council. Amid the chaos, a committed team of people, including former diplomats, military personnel, and scientists, began to come together. They realized that the redemption of humanity could not be based solely on anger or nostalgia. It would require a change in perspective, one that embraced a cooperative vision. Their goal was to restore humanity's standing through diplomacy, technology, and peace. They knew they had to show the Council that humanity was capable of learning from its mistakes and that they had much to offer. The team began developing a vessel that would combine humanity's greatest technological advancements with the lessons learned from past errors. Every day, anticipation grew. Speculation increased. Would this ship be the key to reintegrating humanity into the Council, or would it become another tool of hostility? The warship, almost completed, represented humanity's unwavering spirit and determination to redeem itself. As the ship set out, its crew, composed of professionals from all walks of life, embarked on a mission to evaluate the prospects for humanity's return. They would prove their worth through acts of ingenuity, compassion, and cooperation. The crew embarked on their journey, intercepting distress signals and offering assistance to civilizations facing disasters. Their actions were a demonstration of humanity's technical prowess and humanitarian approach. As the crew's reputation spread, they began to change the narrative surrounding humanity. They showed the Council that humanity was a force for good, and their successful missions chipped away at the negative perceptions held by some members. However, the crew's journey was not without its challenges. They faced opposition from factions within the Council who refused to believe in humanity's capacity for change. But the crew persisted, using strategy, negotiation, and innovation to overcome obstacles. Their unity and determination grew stronger with each success. As they prepared for a high-stakes meeting with a prominent council member, the crew was filled with a mixture of hope and apprehension. They knew this meeting could be a turning point in humanity's quest for redemption. They would have to demonstrate not only their technological advancements, but also their understanding of collaboration and mutual benefit. The meeting with the council members was intense, with mixed responses. Some were intrigued by humanity's progress, while others remained skeptical. When a council member attempted to undermine humanity's actions, the crew remained calm, presenting concrete examples of their selflessness and respect for others. Over time, the crew's sincerity began to shift the council's viewpoint. One by one, council members began to see that humanity had changed. The warship symbolized more than just power. It embodied humanity's hope for a fresh start. The crew continued to prove their dedication to collaboration, knowing that the path to acceptance would be long and difficult. But they were determined to show that humanity had the potential to make a positive contribution to the galaxy, despite its past. The road ahead remained uncertain, but humanity's story was far from over. The crew knew that their journey had only just begun. As the warship continued its mission, humanity's fate hung in the balance. The Council had given them one final test. They were tasked with addressing a grave emergency that threatened a Council member's species. The outcome of this mission could determine humanity's future. Failure could seal their doom, while success might open the door to redemption. The crew understood the stakes. They had to succeed, not just for their own survival, but for the future of humanity's place in the galaxy. Participants publicly questioned humanity's capacity to manage such an important task, pointing to their past shortcomings. In spite of this doubt, the crew stayed concentrated and refused to let errors obscure their present decisions. They shared their intentions with the Council, stressing the significance of collaboration and the requirement for cooperating with other species to accomplish a shared objective with a coalition. Among allied species, they organized an action plan. The crew contacted engineering groups from divergent opinions inside the Council, pooling resources and knowledge. This cooperation not only improved their talents, but moreover, displayed the readiness of humanity to come together for the benefit of others. As the clock ticked down, they were ready to go. The day of execution arrived, and the environment aboard. The warship was a combination of excitement and anxiety. They started the first phase of their strategy to use drones outfitted with cutting-edge deflection technology to examine the asteroids in the asteroid belt. The drones sent data in real time back to the ship, displaying the exact dimensions and composition of the asteroids. This information enabled them to adjust their approach, changing the settings to optimize efficiency while reducing hazards. While participating in the operation, they encountered initial difficulties with more and bigger asteroids than first projected. Halfway through, one of the drones experienced a disastrous failure, putting the whole operation at risk. However, the crew came up with an alternate strategy to repurpose the laser systems aboard the warships to supply more assistance. They adjusted the weapons on board to release concentrated energy beams designed to gently prod the asteroids, removing them from their collision course without resulting in further damage to the warship. The crew worked in unison to implement the new plan, synchronizing their actions as the warship moved into position. Crew members kept an eye on any modifications, making sure they acted precisely. As the moment of truth approached, stress increased. The trade route and the future of humanity hung in the balance as they prepared to fire the laser. The crew held their breath as the initial beam collided with an asteroid, pushing it and causing a ripple effect. Cheers erupted aboard the ship, but the mission was far from over. The crew had to maintain focus and keep working. The beam intensity was precisely adjusted to take into consideration the different densities of the asteroids. With every effective deflection, the crew felt a wave of hope. They started to see that this operation was not merely a test, but a chance to display their species' evolution and commitment to innovation. The crew's efforts started to connect with the council members, and the tides began to change. But the task was still dangerous. An abrupt increase in gravity from a nearby celestial body disturbed their computations, sending multiple asteroids into a frantic course. The crew swiftly adjusted by using last-minute movements to fine-tune their laser systems, sending messages quickly and depending on mutual respect and understanding while they labored. In a sudden turn of events, an alliance of allied ships joined the mission in response to the warship's distress, showcasing unheard-of cooperation. This demonstrated the strength of their newly formed relationships, further establishing the notion that humanity was not alone in seeking redemption. Supported by reinforcements, the crew maximized their tactics and resources, continuing their efforts. As the operation went on, council members looked on with interest, and the current of public sentiment shifted. The factions that had once denounced humanity now expressed gratitude for their resourcefulness. The conclusion of the procedure had turned into an emblem of hope, depicting the possibility of cooperation in the face of hardship. Finally, after hours of synchronization, the last asteroid was effectively diverted, clearing the trading route and preventing disaster. The crew cheered with a mixture of relief and excitement, not just